Okay, so I'm gonna erase this part for you guys. So I'm gonna start from the scratch. How to do a calculator on your Wednesday test. You are gonna have one FRQ, and this question is probably the best practice you can get to. So I'm gonna start with. Most of you guys have TI Nspire sit together, or if you sit with TI84CE, sit it together. So that way we don't have no problem. So Elaine, which calculator you have?
I have the 84.
Okay, so all you guys have 84 sit together, right? Nspire sit together? Okay, great. For me, like I'm gonna go ahead and graph this one, and I've done this before. Hopefully you guys remember. So we're gonna read a question together. The question says, a particle moved along the x-axis. So it's a velocity v at time t for 0 to 5 is given by v of t is equal to natural log of t squared minus 3t plus 3. So now when you graph in a function, please do not graph x. Okay, please do not graph t. Do not type in t. Just graph natural log of x squared minus 3x plus 3. Now, when you graph it, it's going to give you this graph. Well, probably going to give you this one. So if you graph it, it's going to give you this one. So the blue line like this. Okay? So you guys should have graphing calculator. And you should have this. Now, if I go to TI Nspire, I am going to go to the tab, I think. Oh, no. At this part, I don't know how to do it, but document. I cannot go into a new doc for some weird reason. So this one, it doesn't save. I don't know how to do it, but you guys can probably figure out for me. But at the very beginning part, we should be able to go through fine. So I'm going to go to here. I'm going to say I want to graph natural log. So the natural log button is right here. Whoops, that's not it. Natural log is control natural log. And we're going to type in x squared. Do not use t, so use x squared. X squared minus 3x plus 3. Okay, so, and I'm going to graph this. I'm going to press enter. It should graph like this. So now you have a velocity graph. So everybody should have gotten to this graph. Anybody have not yet? Okay, so I am going to go find out acceleration. So the problem is this velocity graph. How do I get to acceleration? Derivative. So you got to use, now you don't know how to take a derivative of natural log, right? But we can use the calculator to take a derivative. So here, I'm going to go to the next line. You go to y equal to and go to the next line. I'm going to take a derivative of the y1 because derivative of y1 is going to give you a velocity graph. So now what we're going to do is click math and 8. Okay, depending on which version of calculator you have. Sometimes you might not have this. Let me know if you don't. And you're going to click var, y bar, function, y1. And you're going to click x. So a lot of people don't know how to do this. You're going to do it a couple times. You're going to get used to it. You go to here, click var, y bar, function, y1. And you're going to graph this. You should graph both functions. You should see one is a blue line, one is a red line. Now, TI Nspire, you're just going to go click on the tab. Then you're going to go to F2. Then just graph F2. So, for example, and this is where I'm really pissed off about TI Nspire. This is like super important button on TI Nspire. They should make it a lot bigger, but they don't. And they don't address like which kind of button is this. But a button, that one has everything. Derivative, integration, any kind of, even I think even there's absolute value sign is right here. So all the most important things are in this button. But they never address what a button is. It's just like 3 boxes. I mean, what the hell is 3 boxes, right? So d to the dx, and I'm going to click x here. and I'm going to click F1. So I'm going to go back to var, and I'm going to click F1 here. But you need to type in another x. That's idiotic. Just like before, it could be just y1. I don't know why you need another x. But you press enter here, you should graph the second line.
Wait, the first graph that I made is not correct. It's natural log parentheses x squared minus 3x plus 3, right?
Yeah.
Did I type that in wrong?
Let me see. Yeah, because you said x squared times minus 3x.
Did I? I didn't type that though.
Okay, so anybody, it's okay. So we find out acceleration. Everybody okay? So I'm going to go back to TI84. Now, you can go back to the calculation screen by second mode to quit, okay? Now, once you second mode to quit, you can say, okay, well, I am going to figure out what my acceleration is. Well, acceleration is not y1, it's y2. Does that make sense? Because y2 is the derivative of y1. So I'm going to click var. Again, knowing how to use the var button is very, very important for you to be able to use this calculator very good. So you're going to go to y2 rather than y1. You're going to press enter. Now, this is y2, but you can actually ask them to evaluate a value. So it's a click 4 here, and then they'll evaluate 4. It will be 0.714. So now I can go back to answer my question. Now on essay, under this AP exam, you got to make sure you answer it correctly. You can say v prime of 4 is equal to 0.714, which is equal to a of 4. That means acceleration at 4. Now, what if you want the speeding up or slowing down? So what do I have to do is compare speeding up or slowing down? What did we talk about before?
You have to do number line tests with the double derivative and the regular derivative. No. Yes. No. Wait. Hold on.
No. Josh?
It's just speeding up. It's acceleration is positive.
No.
Because the velocity
Jack?
and the acceleration have to be the same.
Velocity and acceleration has to be the same sign. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to evaluate the velocity. So how do I evaluate velocity? I'm going to go to var and yvar function y1. Why? Because y1 is a velocity graph, right? Just press 4 and boom. You got a of 4 is equal to 0.714 and v of 4 is equal to 1.945. Now, I'm going to answer B here. Since A of 4 and the V of 4 have the same sign, speeding up. Speed up. That's it. If we have opposite sign, then slowing down. Remember we talked about this before? Catherine, you don't remember?
Sorry, can you say it again?
I don't know if you were here that day.
Can you say it again?
Speed up means velocity, acceleration have the same sign, or has opposite, have both negative signs. So that's, were you there?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think you just zone out for a second.
Sorry.
Okay, is there any way I can do both, hit 2 birds, 1 stone? So here's how to hit 2 birds, 1 stone. Use second graph, which is, you see this is 4.2?
Oh, I see.
But I don't like 4.2. So I'm going to go back to second table set. This is how you set table set. I'm going to go back to auto. If I go back to auto, they will list every single value that they can possibly list. They will list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But the disadvantage of that is, what if I wanted 4.2? There's no 4.2 here. So I can go back to table setting. The input value I can change to ask. If I change to ask, I can get to here. Does that make sense? And then I can do here, I can say, oh, 4.2. They can give me both values at the same time. Or 3, they can give you both values at the same time. It's very awesome because it's going to be like same thing. It's instantaneous. You get both values at the same time. Now, if you go to TI Nspire, you say, I want to do the same thing. Yeah, of course, why not? You're going to go to menu, and you're going to go to table, and you're going to split screen. That's going to give you a table both at the same time. You see that F1 and F2? Do you see that? You guys got to try it. F1 and F2. Now, if you say, hey, how do I do ask? Just go to menu to ask it, to table, to edit the table setting, change the table setting to ask. Then you can ask any value you wanted to. I can ask 3.9. And I can press enter. I can get both value, acceleration and velocity. I can ask table. I'm going to do ask again. I'm going to do 1.5. 1.5 is going to be a good one because once you press enter, you got negative velocity and 0 acceleration. So that's interesting.
You go to ask again. It's a menu.
Menu, table, and edit table setting. Okay, so that's going to give you all the things here. Now we answer the second part. Let's answer the third part. The third part is going to be C. The third part says, find out the time particle change direction. Particle change direction is when? It's when it happened. We have to look at velocity graph or acceleration graph. Particle change direction. Which graph, Min?
Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, if it changes direction, if particle change direction, do I check the velocity graph or acceleration graph?
Acceleration.
No. Velocity graph. Because if you look at velocity graph, that's going to give you a positive velocity and negative velocity. When they cross x-axis, that's when they change direction. Does that make sense? Because that's the velocity went from positive to negative. That's when it changed direction.
Doesn't acceleration do? No, but acceleration is yeah.
Okay, so now, why I say there was too many damn graph here. How do I go back to check it? If I graph, there's too many graphs, too confusing. I'm gonna go and highlight the second graph because I only need this. So I'm gonna be graphing now. So it's gonna be like this. I also don't know which direction. It's very close to thing. I would like to go zoom in. So I'm gonna click on zoom, and I'm gonna click zoom in. You can do zoom box as well. Zoom in. And I'm going to click on this region right here. So I'm going to go to right here and I press enter here. And I can see very specific what is going on. And I can see there is a change direction here, the change direction there, the particle traveling right, the particle traveling left and right. So what am I going to do? How do I find a 0? If I want to find a 0 correctly, I got to do second calc and 0. Second calc and 0. So you're going to go left side with this 0. Remember, you want to go to the left side to the cursor. This is 0. You want to go left. When you press enter, it's going to give you a straight line here. And when you go to the right of this cursor, the 0, it's going to create another straight line. They will say guess. What do you mean guess? Well, guess is you want to guess in between what value. So you're going to press enter again. They will say 0 x equal to 1. You do not want to fill in the guess value. You want to fill in the zeros. So x equal to 1. Those of you guys have TI84, try the second one here. See if you got 2. It has to be exactly at 2. Because if you use trace button, it doesn't get to there. If you just move the button over there, it won't show as 2.
I don't know why it does it like
Yeah, so you have to actually find out, because sometimes it could be 1.01. You never know. So you want to see if you can do this. Now, TI Nspire, this part is better designed, however. So I am going to go to the tab. I actually going to remove the table. I don't like the table. And I'm going to go to the tab here. And I'm going to go to up here. And I'm going to unhighlight this one because I want to unhighlight the F2. I just want to focus on F1. So I'm going to go to F1 here. And I'm going to graph it here. I say, oh, okay, well, I want to find out this particular 0. Now, this one, TI Nspire does do better job because it doesn't have the guess thing. So if you have analyzing graph, and they do have a 0 here, so you just have to click left side of the 0, and you're going to press enter. Right side of the 0, you're going to press enter. They're going to give you a 1, 0. You can actually drag this around because otherwise they're going to have an overlap. And you want to find the second one, you can. You're going to go to